Hey guys, Happy New Year! It's so lovely to connect with you in 2022 and to be able to bring you a lovely, positive, super informative, hopefully, video about the current transits. So, you might have noticed I said the word end of restriction, less restrictive. That's going to be a big theme this year. Last year we had Saturn really bringing out his big guns and making our lives feel a little bit more owned in and, I guess, restricted. Every time we wanted to have action, something would get in the way, or it would feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of energy, or we would have things in the pipeline. However, that momentum of wanting to go forward just kept being held back. Last year we had lots of air energy. For instance, all the Mercury retrogrades were in air signs. So it made it more within what's happening within our mental areas, what's happening in our mental sphere. With this year is more water and more earth. And it's taking all that air energy that we had and now letting it move forward. There was a lot of, for instance, Aquarian energy last year, which really wanted to revolutionize it. Like Aquarius is the revolutionary. It wants to get out. It wants to expand. It wants to be part of a collective. So that it wanted to come out, but it wasn't allowing itself to come out. Now this year, it will have more. Me too, lovely. Okay. So now it's taking that and actually moving it forward. It might not happen exactly how we think it will. For instance, the Aquarian energy a lot of the time can be a lot of protests and people going onto the street, which will be a theme, but we have more of a theme of tapping into the collective energy. And it's already started. So, Jupiter entered Pisces a few weeks ago. And when it entered Pisces, what it allowed us to do, it was in Aquarius before, it allowed us to really begin to connect with one another. Connect with one another through a real heart space. Begin to understand what the last couple of years have meant for other people. So Jupiter expands everything it touches, and Pisces is the sign of understanding. It's the ethereal, it's everything and anything. So when those two combined, for me, Pisces also relates to the heart space. And when we connect those two together, we are connecting with other people, but we're really starting to understand them through the heart space. Now, because we're coming through the backlog of last year, where the beginning of the year was loads of Mars energy, then we had the restrictions, there's a lot of pent-upness within us. So for us to actually get to that Jupiter and Pisces space, we might find it materializes in a peculiar way. So for instance, you might be ranting, like so angry about a situation that happened to you last year, and then the person that you're ranting to has an opposing view, or they are the other person on the other side of the argument and they give you their perspective, and it opens your heart and it helps you understand it from another level. I guess in a way it removes a little bit of that ego, a little bit of that self-centeredness, and helps us connect to one another. And that is a massive theme. That is what we are working towards. We are working towards being one, being a collective. Now, free will always play a part. Free will always play a part. The energy is pushing for that, and a lot of us will move into that. But a key thing is allowing ourselves to get into that heart space, allowing us to feel. Now, the shadow side of that is it feeling too much and it getting too overwhelming and seeing all the darkness and finding ways to numb it. Jupiter in Pisces can make you some form of party animal. You will be holding back all the things that make you connected through partying, drugs, alcohol, paracetamol, whatever it is that makes you numb, you'll be doing that. If you find yourself going into that pattern, the key question is, what are you repressing? Okay, so a big transit this year will be the changing of the North Node into Taurus. It was in Gemini before. The changing of the North Node into Taurus wants us to find more stability in our lives. It wants us to find more groundedness in our life. It wants us to find the things that make us feel connected and happy. And yeah, it's very material based. Taurus, Venus ruled. It is material based, but it's more about, making our homes feel safe, making our environments feel good, making our surroundings feel great. Now, the shadow side for that, for many people, will be, again, ignoring that heart space, which is the Jupiter in Pisces is pulling a lot of people to, and going the other way, being like, actually, for me to create stability, I need money. I need power. Remember, South Node, opposite of Taurus, is Scorpio. So the South Node, the opposite, will be in Scorpio, which has themes of death, rebirth, power, money. So these things, you might be tempted to stay in that Scorpio energy. And when that doesn't happen, you might be tempted to, for instance, get a job that doesn't fulfill your soul. So be cautious of that, because if you do end up, for instance, getting the job that doesn't fulfill your soul, you're more likely to go down the route of the partying and the drugs as a way to numb. So being very conscious of your actions within this time frame is very important. Now, a huge theme of the year is we're beginning the year with Venus in retrograde. Now, this is quite pivotal because it kind of gives us a basis or an understanding of what the following year will be about. So Venus in retrograde is helping us reassess our finances. It's helping us reassess our values. It's helping us reassess our connection. It's helping us take into consideration how we view love, relationships, our finances, our appearance. These are all really, really big themes. And because Venus is already in retrograde, you're already assessing these themes. And it came with the new year, came with the new moon in Capricorn. So all of you right now, we got the new moon tomorrow in Capricorn that wants you to work hard, wants you to strive for your goals. New moons are all about new beginnings, new perspective. The goat wants you to work hard. You guys are all planning for your year ahead. You are reassessing what's important to you. You're reassessing your values, and you are planning what changes you need to make. If you're with someone that never really had resolutions or never really saw the new year in that way, this might be quite a new feeling for you. But it's a big theme for the next 10 months really, of us making these assessments and evaluations on ourselves. On the 8th, on the 9th, because right now we're kind of just assessing the energy, we're kind of just understanding it. On the 8th, 9th, depending on where you are in the world, Venus will make a conjunction to the Sun. We call this the Venus star point. This transit illuminates those value systems. So if you didn't really have clarity before, this will shine that light on it and help you have the clarity. These transits aren't very action orientated. You might feel like you want to take action, but they're more mental. They're more in the mental realm. Again, it will depend where it hits your charts, but where you have that action, where you feel, you go for it. A key thing though is assessing our own worth, our worth in relationships, what's important to us, and our finances and how we create our finances. Uranus is still transiting Taurus, and it will be for a little while. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and it's also going to be playing a big part. They're both in earth signs. So again, it's going to be that breaking down of the old way of doing things, breaking down of the old things that didn't work. A lot of us will be creating new businesses at the moment and really trying to strive them forward, or we'll be choosing to support more businesses. The understanding of small businesses will be understood on a collective level. So the person that would have usually not shopped small will begin to see their family members, etc., creating these businesses, and will want to help in that way. Again, that is, free will play a huge part this year. It always does. Free will always does. But the people that we're moving more to connect with the heart space, and the people that are connecting with that heart space will be going into that direction. And that is how the bigger picture of connecting on a collective will play out. How we're going to be seeing each other. There's not going to be as much separation between our neighbors. It's more we help each other out, which is, it's really nice. It's not going to be as the breaking, it's not going to be as corporate like business is going to be more heart. Told you it's a nice message this year. At the beginning of this year, we call it, a lot of us astrologers are calling it the revolutionary year. So it's exciting. Okay, so we covered Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces has moved from the air to the earth. Another sign that will be going from air to earth is going to be Mercury throughout the year. So those of you that know astrology will know that Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. Some people throw a huge stink, and I always get annoyed, but then last year every single Mercury retrograde hit me really hard, so maybe it was my karma. So last year all the Mercury retrogrades were in air signs, and they were because Mercury is our communication, it's our language, it's our writing, it's our mental energy. And in earth sign, it's reiterating that because earth is air too. The beginning of all our Mercury retrogrades this year, the first one beginning at the midpoint of January, are all going to start in air signs. But the difference is they're going to move towards the end into earth signs. Oh, sorry, my cat. Say my cat, I'm pet sitting. Definitely whenever I'm giving a reading, she's here. Otherwise, she does not like to interact. So definite familiar. Okay, so we are going to, I'm just going to lower her out. 1 second. No, she's fine. Okay, we're moving from air to earth. What that means is the Mercury retrogrades at the beginning, especially the first one, so the one on the 15th of January, will feel like the whirlwinds of the last 3. They'll feel a lot. They'll feel like, what the hell? Especially with Venus still in retrograde, it will be a lot of mental energy. But when it moves throughout and it goes into the earth sign, we will start getting ideas. We will start putting those ideas into action. We'll start creating stability with those ideas. So the air creates that mental energy, and then the earth puts it into the ground and makes it nice and secure. Cool, huh? So it's really nice, actually. And I don't want you guys to be scared of Mercury retrogrades. They're there to help us. They're there to support us. They're there to help us reevaluate. They're great. Sorry. Especially these ones, because as I said, they're moving from earth to air. Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't. Oh yeah. Okay. So when I was talking about the end of restriction, a key date, in my opinion, will be when Uranus goes direct on the 15th of this month. Uranus is Aquarian led. So it has all the Aquarian themes. And as we know, last year, Aquarius was under that Saturn restriction. It still is. But now we see more forward momentum, especially people having their Saturns return. All the Saturn themes of responsibility and wanting to be more adult, and all the ideas that people were having, now they can move them forward and find their path on that. Yeah, okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say. We do have the Pluto return happening in America. I don't really focus that much on American politics, but I feel because the Pluto return America has the root chakra, and I feel like we're moving more into the heart space. I feel like this Pluto return will be a pivotal point for the Earth's chakras to move to where they will be moving to next. Yeah, Pluto, that root energy. Yeah, because that's where it is. Yeah, so that'll be really interesting to see how that moves forward. If you guys have any questions or would like a reading, I'm back to giving readings, and I've been loving it. I feel like I'm back to my calling. Please do get in touch, because I am taking bookings at the moment, both for tarot reads, especially if you're looking for a tarot read New Year something or other, or if you want like an astrology forecast of the year, or whatever you're looking for. Yeah, maybe, Venus retrograde makes us think of our relationships. If you're thinking of a synastry reading, whatever you're thinking about, just drop me a message. Let's do it. I'm very excited. Happy New Year, guys. Bye.